Hello there, welcome to this new game with Tabarestan for the achievement Shahanshah, I believe it is. I'm a little bit unsure, but I think in essence that is what it's called. First things first, we're going to be sending our merchants to, well, our own trade center. We're going to fortify Macedon because we don't really want to do anything to piss off the Timurids here, they already hate us enough. And Qara Quonlyu, of course, already seeks to destroy us, so we're kind of in a very precarious situation. We can't really do much. That is the big problem with playing as, well, Tabarestan for this achievement. You basically have to either wait until one of these breaks down, or are weak or something like that, or you basically have to try and get yourself north, go after Caspian Sea or Shirvan. The only way you really can do this, since Qara Quonlyu will, in most cases, want to, well, break you into tiny little pieces, is by marching through Timurids, Qara Quonlyu Horde up here, and then you can probably go after the people in the area, and that is exactly what we're going to do. Now, we do have the benefit of having a pretty high base tax, which gives us the potential of raising a, well, let's just be honest here, a pretty damn big army. Our modifier, or sorry, our force limit is 6, but we're going to make an 8,000 man army because it will be more beneficial to us in terms of keeping our enemies at bay. It will be less desirable than target, if you will. Now, I'll not be focusing on getting the Persian provinces, you just need 7 of them. I already have 1. But I will not be focusing on getting them until, well, either we screw them over, or they fall apart or something like that, or we basically have power enough to challenge them. And in order to do this, we have to do a couple of things here. We'll be focusing on building up our army pretty quickly, so setting the national focus to military should be a priority. We need a strong army here, rather than anything else. I'll not be hiring anyone else than a military guy, because I want to save up a little bit of money too, for mercenaries if they are needed. And the goal here basically now will be to get military access to the Timurids and the Qara Quonlyu Horde up to Caspian Sea, and then we'll attack them first, then we'll go for Shirvan if they do not get an alliance with Qara Quonlyu. If they do, we'll probably focus on Circassia and Georgia. We'll probably go after Crimea, Teodoro, Trebizond. Basically the smaller people here, but I'm kind of worried of getting on border with the Ottomans, so I think I might go for vassalization of Trebizond. Circassia and Georgia for that matter. We do have another thing that's really not a benefit. Our religion, we are Shia, which gives us a pretty damn big malice towards missionaries. As you can see, our missionaries are pretty weak. Local missionary strength -2. It means that we will have a hard time converting anyone. So what I'm thinking here is that I'll basically go for Circassia and Georgia potentially, and potentially force an Orthodox revolt to, well, change my religion so I can start converting stuff, because if I can't do that, then, well, the nation is just going to rip itself slowly apart, which of course is not beneficial to me at all. So for the time being, I'll wait for, as I said, get those military accesses up and running, ASAP, if you will, and once I have that set, we'll fabricate a claim and go to war. Hopefully also I can also ally either, well, hopefully both of these two hordes in the future to get myself a little bit more power. Qara Quonlyu attacking Tabarestan could be a goldmine for us, if they go for the annex, that is. If they annex Tabarestan, the Ottomans are more likely to attack them, and of course, no matter how we look at that, that is really beneficial. What I expect them to do though is probably just vassalize. So as I said, I'll work on what I have planned, and hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. Now, piety here works as you would guess. Low piety gives some bonuses to technology, and, well, pious gives missionary strength, morale of armies, etc. In this case, I think having a lack of piety might be beneficial, because we do get a morale boost here, plus 0.5 already with level 4, and we do have a morale advisor, so getting the tech cost a little bit down could be beneficial to get the tax faster, and thus, well, allow us to start moving a lot faster. So all in all, it's basically trying to plan the best course of action, if you will. As you can see, we actually have enough to get a military access now with the Timurids, so I'll fabricate a claim, and once that claim is done, we'll get military access, we'll declare war, and hopefully we'll be able to make something work here. But for now, I'll get a military access and keep improving relations in the hope of my alliance. But again, I don't expect one, and it's not because it's impossible to make them get willing to take or give me an alliance. It's because of the game's well, belief that I hate the Timurids. Fair enough, they hold one of my cause, but that's really the only reason why I hate them. They're also heretics, basically. But giving me such a huge malice towards them is kind of ridiculous. It makes it really hard to play Tabarestan, because your basically the ones that you can ally will in most cases not give you enough relation to actually, well, in this case we'll import iron. It gives military power, the Timurids like me. I don't care for mercantilism at this point. But as I was saying here, it makes it really hard, because the nations that would potentially be my allies are kind of being put in an awkward situation of, well, being forced. Either they join me as basically either I need to get big enough for them to consider me a threat to make them want to ally me, or I have to change religion, etc. And in my case it's kind of hard, but it's part of the challenge, I guess. We can live with that. We'll up the army maintenance, and we'll actually put our, well, king in charge, Sultan, I guess he is. I'm a little bit unsure. Guess it's Sultan. Yeah, we put the Sultan in charge of the army, and we got ourselves an heir. Pertrazok 413, not bad. I prefer if I had a little bit more on the military side though, since that's what we're focusing on, but I guess I can't complain. Now, hopefully the fact that he was discovered won't lead to basically Timurids saying that they will not support us or give us military access anymore. If we can just get into the province, we're fine. We did. We should now be perfectly safe, or home safe if you will. I will improve relations with both Nogai and the Golden Horde to protect myself in the north, but I think I'll go for potentially vassalization of, if I can, Crimea, Circassia and Georgia. Georgia is already at war with Qara Quonlyu, so this could really prove, well, if they take two provinces for instance, I can definitely vassalize them. I'm a little bit unsure if I can right now, but we'll just have to wait and see. If I can get rebels up and running as well, that would definitely be helpful. And unfortunately it seems like they have a little bit of an army, so I'll hire some mercenaries and send them up north, and hopefully this will help out. And those are the only two mercenaries that I will create, because they're kind of expensive here. But yeah, we need to beat this army, but of course the AI, lucky as it is, gets a force shock general. But I think I'll wait and just siege this, and then we'll consider what we'll do. We'll probably go straight for Shervan if they do not get an alliance with well, having said that, we'll probably go straight for Shervan if they do not get an alliance with Qara Quonlyu. That is probably going to be a fact. So we'll fabricate a claim, and then we'll see how this plan pans out. But for the time being, we'll just siege and wait. Luckily enough for us here, it seems like they lost part of their army due to potentially depth, and that is of course really beneficial. That means that I can attack them here and just wipe them out like that. Really, really helpful. Shervan do have a 6,000 man army as well, but I am still going to, I think, declare war. Potentially just march in there, try and destroy it quickly as soon as that claim is done, just to make sure that I do not end up in a situation here where they're allied with Qara Quonlyu. That would definitely be a, well, pretty horrendous my apologies, a pretty horrendous situation. Of course, this army can be split into three for sieging purposes. I can take the hit to the treasury. I'll probably have to take 2 or 3 loans to support this, but more than that I should not have to take, and thus I should be perfectly fine in, well, assuming here that I can take out Shervan in a fairly good manner, and then work from there. Of course, again, as I said, money-wise, it could be a death, not a death sentence, but it's not the best. But all in all, now we do now just have to wait. Apparently, I lost a ton of money there. Oh yeah, I agreed to something I probably shouldn't have agreed to. I should really learn to read here. After that long game with the Golden Horde, I'm used to always having a ton of cash in my pockets. We're actually going to lower the army maintenance low enough to make sure that we don't lose money. So for now, we'll wait for the sieges to finish, and then we'll continue. And there we go. The first one is done for. Luckily enough, Sherman just entered into a military alliance with Qara Quonlyu, which is not beneficial. It could lead to them joining, I think. Chances are really low though, so I wouldn't count on it. But it is a potential here. 8.6 aggressive expansion, and ridiculously enough, this is one of the kind of things that are annoying. The problem is, apparently the Caspian Sea is not a sea, or it should in this case be called the Caspian Lake, because it doesn't actually count. I thought I could call this thanks to, well, the fact that it being closed, but apparently I can't, so I'll probably have to release these two as vassals. And, well, make some moves from there. But what we're going to do before we do that is start the covert action of fabricating claims on both of these. Basically, Circassia and Georgia, because that will allow me to, well, attack them in the future, even if I release them as vassals. I'm pretty sure the claims will still be produced even if I release them. But basically, yeah, I will have to release both of them as vassals, because as stated, I can't call the provinces. They will just sit there and produce problems, if you will. So I definitely have to make some moves here. Dagestan will go for straight out being vassalized in a year's time, once the claims are done. But for now, we'll work on repaying loans, 2 more. And then we'll probably consider war on these two. Of course, again, I really need the Timurids to be on my side here, because I can't move my troops. I can't create troops anywhere else, and I definitely need to beat Qara Quonlyu here to join up with these lands, which is again a ridiculous mechanic here. The Caspian Sea should not be blocking core creation. Seriously. For considering how many provinces are actually linked to this place, I would say you should be able to build some sort of transport navy. Seriously. I have a hard time imagining that the hordes or the nations in the area didn't actually use small boats during this time. But I'll stop jabbering, I'll wait until the claims are done, then we'll end the wars. There we go, we got our conquest claims here. So Circassia doesn't actually have any allies either, which makes them an obvious target here. And we are going to go with vassalization here right away, because I think Shervan isn't actually... They're already a sultanate, they're already shia, they are basically everything we want them to be. So we'll release them, we'll just take them as a vassal. We'll also go straight out here and release Gazikamuk again as a vassal. And I think we'll also go ahead and repay our loans. I'm a little bit unsure if I actually want to create a bigger army, because as you can see, I'm over my 2 main diplomatic relations, which is not the greatest, but it is what it is. Kind of limited. I'm kind of limited at the moment. So what I think I might have to do here is basically give up my military deals when it comes to transportation of my armies, and hope for, to some degree, that I can get this during a quick war pretty soon. Basically, what the goal will be now is to vassalize, if possible, both of these pretty rapidly. And once I have done that, I can then start focusing on make some moves. So let's just check here the army of Circassia. 3,000 men, standing army. They are definitely going to go down right away. I will still keep my military deals as they are. They are beneficial to me. They are important to me. I might add, and hopefully I can still keep the Timurids in a, well, friendly banter. If the military agreements with them go, then I'll get rid of basically every agreement I have with both of these two, because then they don't no longer help me, and I'll probably get rid of the military axis with all 3 once I got Circassia and Georgia under my thumb, and then we'll start focusing on going for a war with Qara Quonlyu. And as things look, the Ottomans could definitely get into war with them before I do. So currently things are actually looking pretty damn good. We'll continue next time. Hope to see you then. Feel free to come with any praise, criticism, anything at all really. And I'll see you around next time. Bye.